father's right to have extended paternal leave to spend time with his newborn child is being challenged in court. A Gauteng couple is being supported by the Sonke Gender Justice group. They claim sections 25 and 26 of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act should be declared unconstitutional because they discriminate against fathers. Bafana Khumalo from Sonke Gender Justice joins us now to talk about this a bit further. Bafana, good morning and thank you very much for your time. You know, this challenge to sections of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act is a very important one that could, if successful, give true expression to the concept of transformative jurisprudence. Just talk us through the facts, firstly, around this case, which you felt you wanted to join.
Thank you very much for inviting us. We think it's a very important growing of our jurisprudence, as you have indicated, in that we are arguing in support of the couple that has put the case up at the Constitutional Court, that it is unfair to place the burden of looking after the child and taking responsibility for the rearing of the child only to women. We think that there needs to be a very important role that is played by the fathers of the children or a partner who is part of that relationship. And we think that conforms with our constitutional imperative of non-discrimination, of ensuring that everyone is treated equally and fairly in all our legal systems, yes.
So meaning also a win in this particular case could lead to the squashing or the program of doing away with gender stereotypes. But if we look at the facts, my understanding is that this is a heterosexual couple. In most instances, people would have assumed that perhaps it's a same-sex couple. It's in fact heterosexual couple, and we understand that their mother in this instance was in fact a self-employed lady who wanted to go back quickly to work, and the father who states that as an employed father, he has been contributing to UIF and feels that it shouldn't be just a woman who gets to take the 4 months unpaid maternity leave where they claim UIF only, whereas men have been contributing throughout most of their employment career when it comes to UIF. I mean, just talk us through those.
Well, I think the father is raising actually much more critical points about the fact that in this instance, he was prepared to take time off in order to provide the necessary support for their newborn, so that the mother, who is running two very critical businesses that have gainfully employed a number of people, but she's the key person who was driving those businesses, and who felt that she would like to ensure that she maintains that business. But in terms of the current legal system, of course, you know, there's no provision, because when the father applied to the company was saying, look, this is nothing that is open for you to can take this amount of leave for the specific reasons that you have stated, which opens up, I think, the whole question about why is it that the responsibility of looking after newly born babies is only for those that are considered just as mothers in this relationship, and even where, you know, the other partner may be willing to take time off so that they provide the support in order to ensure that the other partner can continue with very critical career decisions. And I think we've learned a lot from other jurisdictions, because other countries treat this kind of leave with a different approach, and we have submitted that in our papers, showing how Germany, how countries like the Netherlands, how countries in the Scandinavian countries who are leading in this parental leave regime have treated this, and how that is contributing to social cohesion in society, but also in ensuring that all of us realize what equality means in terms of the responsibilities of parents and looking after their children.
No, it most certainly is a game changer. But if we had to look at the scenarios to regulate this for it to be somewhat viable, would it perhaps be better if it was demanded that of the two parents, one must show proof that they will be returning to work quicker, and then the other parent would be the one that would get time to bond with the child and look after the child for the 4 months? Or you are of the view that both parents should be given the opportunity to stay home with the child? Which one is it?
I think there are various options. I mean, in the Scandinavian setup, for instance, they have 18-month parental leave, and parents negotiate who will take which period, for how long, and who will be going back earlier to work. And that can be set up in our law so that you have that amount of flexibility and parents can negotiate that. And then we set it out that the options are very, very clear. But it's very critical, I think, that we must emphasize that this is not just leave for people to stay at home, to play golf. It's intended essentially to make sure that they are there for the best of the child, so that they contribute towards bonding with the child, providing the necessary support, and ensuring that the child really has somebody that is very close monitoring their situation, as those are critical days, as we all know, after a newly born baby.
No, it's honestly a great time to be in the country as the law continues to develop in front of us. Honestly, a very fascinating case. Hopefully, we will be able to monitor even further beyond that outcome, because it could mean that for a number of women, if they want to progress with their careers now, they could automatically say, after my 9 months, my husband is taking over from here, I'm going back to work, because as a career woman, I would have taken so much time, perhaps ill here and there. So it's honestly very progressive.
Yes, but also I think we need to point out, we are also suggesting that we separate what we call parental leave and caregiving leave, because it's true that when women give birth, biologically they do need some time to recover, but we are saying there must be an allowance where a woman feels that she's much more stronger now and she wants to proceed with her career, that she can do that. As we all know, there are many women who are set back tremendously simply because they've taken time off to bring up their children. And we think this is unfair and it's discriminating against women. We should be providing enough support so that women can indeed, exercise their right to economic activity and not be set back simply because they've given birth to children. Something that we as society see as very important, but we do not want to acknowledge what that means, and therefore ensure that women are not put back just because they've, given birth to children.
Most certainly. Mr. Khumalo, thank you very much for your time this morning. That's Bafana Khumalo from Sonke Gender Justice.